down for this particular session, so think I made it into sections. There are 8 sections to this, and the first one is I'm going to take on is talk about the exam in general. And because if somebody who wants to take on an exam, for example, right, then they can, and they will ask me questions as to what will come in an exam, or what is the exam content outline. That's the next question people often, will check you for. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go into the concept building. But before even conceptual building happens, I think you might have noted here that I use the word KAVI here. And this is my thinking that when I teach, I use this technique of myself. I like this. I made this technique actually. Kinestatics, audio, visual, and iterative. So kinesthetic means that I ask you guys to do something on your side. Maybe you think something, or you think it in your mind. I say, okay, can you imagine a triangle, and think about making it where what do you think the mission and the vision would be at? Would they be at the bottom, or would they be at the top? So this is something that you are now getting involved with. That is kinesthetics. Audio, you're listening to me. Visual, you're watching things around on the screen. And the iterative part is very important. That means I try to get the context first. So you talk about something, they say, what is the context to that? You get the bigger picture first, and then you go back and revisit it with that context in mind. That's the kind of going back and making it a little more deeper and better, and that is the iteration part, the iterative part of it, okay? So those things are important. So OPM terminology is a part of that technique where you think about the bigger pictures, and then you see where does portfolio management come into play, and how important it is linked to the organizational strategies. And then the human beings have to take on the mantles for doing certain things. So it's not just there that paper you write down a strategy. Who's going to do it, man? That's the next question. It's you guys, people. And therefore, this thought of the managing of the portfolio, so the roles and responsibilities, and then seeing where PMI is coming in from. PMI is our friend, actually, right? I mean, PMI has done so much for the project management propagations in terms of offering us the recipes, how to handle projects, how to handle programs, how to handle portfolio, right? And I think we just need to just go and receive it. So how it evolved and mattered is something just as a trivia. 1969 PMI was created in Pennsylvania, if you want to just go back to that point. And then in 1996, the first PMBOK came into the world. What is PMBOK? Project Management Body of Knowledge. And therefore, this was a body of knowledge, not even a book of knowledge. And that means that, like for example, I give a very simple example, that you make tea, and Michael makes tea, and Jenna makes tea, and Jose makes tea, and Angela makes tea, but they're making it in different styles. We all guys get together, and we come back after our meetings with a recipe that we all agree that we follow these steps, we'll have a very nice and a tasty tea. That's the effect of that. So, this is the same thing, making tea, like making a project work right. Creating the right taste for the people who will use that tea, will drink that tea, enjoy that tea. It's not making the tea that is enough. Because making of tea is going to get cold if nobody comes and drinks it. Nobody enjoys that flavor. Correct? So it's not always about the output. It's not always about the output. What is it important? It is output which is converted into outcomes. So that, why are you interested in outcomes? So that the benefit starts to flow. Why are you interested in the benefits to flow? Because now the keyword in the industries today is value. Okay? So let's say it's me who's trying to seek a job somewhere. as a project manager or a program manager, and they discuss things with me and they want to see my concepts, they will ask me questions. There will be no PIM box there. There will be nothing. But how I explain this, what is the importance of, creating a professional or hiring a professional in their own organization who will not let the ball go drop, because we have the knowledge, information, and therefore the value will not be tainted, value will not be marred, value will not be compromised. At the end, that's very important. That is the end result we're talking about. So that's why the portfolio management, PMI, has a very clear concept of here. We'll talk about that. And then, what is the heart of it all in projects ultimately? And if the projects start failing, I just talked about the value to you guys. That will not be there, because the outputs will fail, outputs are bad, outcomes will also not be ensured properly, the outcomes are not there, then benefits will not flow, the benefits don't flow, the value will not be created. And so we got to work with that thought. And obviously, once we are creating all these effects, the results, what's happening? This resources getting involved. But are the resources like limited or unlimited is the next question, which is obviously commonsensical, but we say no, we don't have unlimited resources. And then there are different types of resources. There are resources which are critical, and there are sometimes non-critical. So in that case, then we have to be very prudent about handling these resources. So there is this multitasking sometimes you have to do too. So, and then we'll talk about the ingredients for the portfolio.